What fact is common knowledge to people who work in your field, but almost unknown to the rest of the population? Story 1. Just because a disabled child or person is nonverbal, that doesn't mean that they can't understand everything you're saying. It's crazy how often I have to tell my own staff to watch what they're saying. These kids still get embarrassed or upset if you talk about the massive shit they just took right in front of the whole class. I am constantly reminding my staff of this. So frustrating. Just because the kids aren't making eye contact, classic sign of autism, doesn't mean they aren't still listening. Most likely they are listening better when they aren't looking at you because they aren't focusing so hard on maintaining eye contact. Story 2. Neurodegenerative diseases, Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, starts way before the first symptom appears. No one wakes up suddenly one day with Alzheimer's. From actual data, it seems that the disease is rampant for 10 to 15 years before the first symptoms. Some research say that you can start identifying abnormalities 20 plus years before the memory loss begins. And it works for all neurodegenerative diseases, AFAIK. What kind of early signs can be seen 20 plus years prior to the first real symptoms? Story 3. Not my current field, but when I worked at Starbucks, not a lot of people understood that a larger espresso drink does not always equal more caffeine. A tall drink has 1 shot, grande has 2, and a venti also has 2, unless it's iced and then it gets a 3rd shot. So many times customer would order a grande latte and say, you know what, you better make it a venti, I can use the extra caffeine. When in fact the larger size is just more diluted with milk. If you are looking for more caffeine, a drip coffee is going to be the most bang for your buck. Also, this seems really obvious, but a lot of people would get upset when they ordered a flavored coffee and saw that I would put syrup in it. No, coffee beans do not naturally come in caramel, vanilla, toffee nut, raspberry, etc. flavor. Story 4. Being a civil attorney, we almost never go to jury trial and the job can be unbelievably boring. And the time it takes and the expense involved, it's not uncommon for suits, particularly those of a large dollar amounts, to take 3 to 5 years to reach resolution, and the expenses can easily run into the mid-6 figures. Just settled an admitted liability crash case where the only question was damages, mid-6 figure settlement, high 5-figure expenses, mostly for doctors and experts. Took 3.5 years. Story 5. If you're putting in new carpet, always go top shelf with the pad. The increase in cost is negligible, and the upgrade to fill, usability, and endurance of the rug on top will be way better dollar to value ratio than spending on the carpet itself. 8-pound memory foam is maybe $2 a yard more than trash apartment grade stuff, but 10 times better underfoot. Go for the cheapest carpet you can stand. Remember, you aren't going to be running your fingers through your house's carpet for more than 3 days after it's installed. And put the best damn pad money can buy under it. You'll spend less and it'll feel like you bought $50 a yard carpet. Story 6. Office copiers cost upwards of $7,000 and some can go for $15,000 to $20,000 depending on print speed and capacity. My girlfriend's uncle is an architect at a big architect company here. They recently bought a new printer that could do all kinds of advanced stuff that was over $700,000 or $800,000. It was under a water pipe which had a faulty connection. The pipe burst. Printer rendered useless. Yeah, office copiers are beefy, but printers used for technical applications like architectural plans or construction drawings are on a whole different level. Story 7. The maximum spacing between spindles in a railing is 4 inches because that's the average size of a baby's head. Most building officials will carry a 4-inch sphere with them when doing inspections on new construction. Similarly, when the public play structures are being evaluated, the evaluator brings 2 size paddles, one which is equal to the average size of new norm's head, and one that equal to the largest average size of a child under 10. They then stick the paddles in all crevices of the play structure. If the smaller one, the head, can get through, the bigger one, body, must also be able to, otherwise the structure won't pass inspection. Story 8. I worked as an insurance adjuster. Most people have no idea what homeowners insurance actually does. Here's a very simple guide to understanding what is covered by homeowners insurance, a sudden and one-time occurrence. While there are some exceptions to this, understanding those few words will help you understand 95% of what is and is not covered by your policy. Note, my experience applies to U.S. insurance only. Important exceptions: earthquakes and floods, floods from the ground up, not from a burst pipe. Both of those require separate coverage. Story 9. There is a period of time every year that, in the U.S., the Department of Transportation pulls over any and every truck that they can. During this period, many trucking companies take vacation time, as the potential hassle is not worth the money made during this time. Owner-op here, I always take the week off when DOT sets up at the port I haul to. Story 10. I'm a lifeguard, so nothing special, but while training to be one, I learned that nearly no drowning victims ever wake back up. They usually die. CPR only has a 10% success rate, and even then, the chance that they will be a veggie for the rest of their lives is something like 80%. So in reality, you have about a 2% chance of ever being normal again if you drown. Moral of the story is, wear the life jacket if told to, and stop arguing with the lifeguard about how your child is a fish. Story 11. You cannot go from having black hair to silver or platinum blonde in one sitting. It takes multiple, and 9 out of 10 times your hair is fried beyond repair by the end of it. Kim Kardashian or whoever you pinned on your Pinterest page or Instagram is wearing a wig. Story 12. An elevator will go up to the top of the hoist instead of crash to the floor, and most catastrophic failures due to the counterweights. I don't know if that makes my elevator anxiety better or worse. It all depends on whether there is a masked villain sawing at the rope holding the counterweights. Story 13. The toner in your printer is plastic being melted onto the paper. To add to this, an inkjet printer microboils the ink in the print head before transferring it to the page, bubbling just barely. I had no idea about this until last year. Story 14. There is a surprising amount of infrastructure under your feet. You'd be surprised how much public utility runs underneath private property. Always call before you dig. We had a garden in our backyard growing up. I used to dig in the spots where my mom didn't have any plants growing. I decided one morning that I was going to dig to China. I was young, okay? And I kept going until I hit a thick black cord. I stabbed at it with a shovel and I saw all sorts of colors inside it. I thought I found some treasure, but what I was actually looking at was dozens of individual wires inside the cord, and what I'd done was take out the cable TV for the entire street. Story 15. The best treatment for a child with anxiety is treating their parents' anxiety. Well, fuck. Thanks for making me look back on my life, realizing my mom was afraid of everything and would hammer these fears into my head as a child, and now I'm terrified of everything from snakes to sharks to roller coasters to heights and public speaking. I feel like I live in a bubble my mom created. Story 16. Drowning is silent. I pulled out a kid literally less than a foot away from a large group of adults, and not one of them noticed that his head was totally submerged and that he was struggling. Story 17. In jewelry, a diamond is a luxury expense, not an investment. Gold is the investment. If you try to sell your engagement ring, you'll probably get maybe 20% of what you initially paid for it. Jewelers can get diamonds for a fraction of what you paid for it. Story 18. More people die in lifeboat drills than they do in any other marine incidents. Story 19. Potential cancer cells develop in the human body every day, and our immune system efficiently kills them without any trouble, and we just go on living our lives like nothing ever happened. Story 20. Doubling the dose of a drug does not double the effect. Likewise, a child should not be given the same dose per kilogram body weight as an adult.